I have already thanked the presidency for inviting me at this interesting meeting yesterday, and now I would like to go forward in respect to the presentation I did yesterday. Yesterday I tried to explain in a necessarily schematic way the most relevant evolution of automobile industry. Thank you. Okay. Today I would like to look forward and try to present my personal ideas about the possibility of a collaboration between East and West. I will use some question to introduce my speech. Is a collaboration possible between old and newly industrialized countries in the automobile industry? I will use old industrialized and newly industrialized as an easy label. Probably you can understand what I intend. Well, in the short run, their answer is easy. Yes, of course, they can cooperate. They can integrate the different interests because in the short run, newly industrialized countries want an automobile industry in the domestic market, and the old industrialized countries have the technologies and the knowledge of how to organize distribution to offer to East countries, to newly industrialized countries. So this cooperation in the short run could be possible. But in the long run, this solution is not automatically achieved because, of course, the interest of newly industrialized countries is to become able to export the car they produce in domestic market to the old industrialized country. And of course, this means a confrontation, not only a cooperation, but an economic confrontation. This is the competition, of course. Huh? So, at the moment, what have old industrialized countries to offer? As I already told, they have technologies and demand knowledge, and the newly industrialized countries has to offer lower cost in manufacturing, particularly in components production, where the cost share is very heavy. For example, in final assembly, the share of labor cost is inferior to 4% in the final assembly. So in this kind of activities, low cost is not extremely relevant. Most important car manufacturers are going to newly industrialized countries because the newly industrialized countries put some rules. In China, for example, you cannot produce with a foreign company could not produce car, can produce components. But to produce car, they have to, to do a joint venture with the local investors. So one thing they can offer is low cost in manufacturing components and a huge car demand. Well, what have Nick's government to do in order to favor the right economic environment, to favor an integration not only in the short run but in the long run? The subject is already presented, but I have to underline that a clear law system to protect, for example, just an example already mentioned, but it's very relevant, just to protect the intellectual property. And a colleague presented the case of X5 BMW, but I can remember also the Panda clones made without respect of the intellectual property. So the Nix government must avoid the production of clone cars in order to establish a good relationship between the partners, East and West. Reciprocity, I think, is the key word in this relationship. Yesterday I presented a table, but I had not the time to explain it, but just to say an example, how much car manufacturers are investing in innovation. The investment in innovation, I figured up the sum of R&D expenses and the CAPEX, capital investment. For example, Toyota each year in 2007 spent 14.5 billion of euros in R&D and CAPEX. And of course, they need a return of this kind of investment. The same, quite the same, did Ford and GM. They spent about 10 billion euros, and the same Volkswagen and other companies. But BMW, for example, invested 7.1 billion, but they have a cost for each car produced of about 4,000 euros. Each car, this is the impact of R&D expenses. So if they are not able to return, to achieve this kind of investment, they will not collaborate in a process of integration. What is the target of NICS? Export car producers in domestic market to all the industrialized countries. This is a natural target. This target is very understandable, but of course it will produce some friction, but we have to accept it. This is the competition. So what, from my point of view, can I suggest for a good policy for newly industrialized countries in the automobile sector? My suggestion is that NICS car manufacturers must be ambitious, of course. And of course they will be ambitious, but the difficulty is that they must be ambitious in quality, not in quantity. Just a final example. We can be very innovative in specific engines, for example, in compressed natural gas, methane. This seems an old technology, but this is not true. This is a very promising technology. And this kind of fuel is a performance much better than gasoline as far as it concerns pollution and global warming. So I think that a newly industrialized country have to choose the technological windows in which they can merge their necessities in order to not pollute too much in their countries, and offer new interesting technologies also for the all industrialized countries. Thank you.